Earground Radio. New voices amplified.
Awesome, Mudiwa. That's good, man. Let me just cue this song. Maybe you can just you can start off with a freestyle, man. Some are doubting a rapper. Hit it.
Hanzi vabvunze vanhu ava mavhesi that you hearing vanokopera kwandiri nereverse engineering 263 pachagwadama before us ndine manyemwe kunge mwana wesmall house musanendere pamberi kunge juzi rakadhamba rutangira atenzi kunyika maoko mvura vanofamba vachindijaja hanzi Mudiwa such a loser chinekewo the prodigal son is back.
Welcome, Mudiwa. Thank you so much for taking your time off your busy schedule to be part of this Earground conversation. It was not easy to really get you on a free time, but thanks to you and your team for making this time. And we're not going to waste much time. We're just going to get straight into it. And like I promised my guests, this is going to be an all-horsebarred show, friendly as possible, but definitely I'm going to hit it home. I'm going to ask you some of the questions that people have been asking and some of the questions that I've been asking personally as well. And just to get to know who is Mudiwa, maybe you can give us just the 2 minutes on who Mudiwa is.
Mudiwa is a very humble guy. Who is a Christian rapper. When I say Christian rapper, I'm saying that my faith is Christianity. Whenever I open my mouth, I'm speaking Jesus Christ. And it's not by convenience or as a way of looking for money. No, it's by conviction. I'm a saved Christian. I'm a born-again Christian. I fear God and I love God from the deepest part of my heart. Also, I'm probably the only MC with an MSc. I'm talking about a master's. Yeah.
So you're the most educated hip-hop MC in the country. Confirm.
Yeah. I don't know if we actually have another musician who is at my level. I'm a few years left with becoming a doctor.
Wow. Cool. We're definitely going to touch on that. Just hint us a bit on your upbringing. Did you grow up in a very rich and wealthy family? This is my first impression, that from your first video in 2007, where you were flying, you used some helicopters or simulations of helicopters, and the first impression was like, this is a rich boy. Are you coming from a rich family?
Well, I'll be very honest. I come from a very humble family. My father was a bus driver. My mom was a housewife. I grew up in Chitungwiza.
In Chita.
There was nothing rose. Yes, I grew up in Chita. There was nothing rose about my upbringing. I'll be honest with you. I went to one of the most humble schools. And the word humble, I'm simply trying to tell you that I'm simply trying to tell I come from a very poor background. And I went to a school called Dzidzai Primary School, whereby every time that I was about to get into the school, there was a sewage that was flowing like a river, and you had to jump a sewage to get into the gate. I went to a mission school. I've never been to any fancy school my entire life. I was one of those people, who used to dream riding a bicycle. Because when I was young, we couldn't afford getting a bicycle. I'll just say, when I grew up, I want to buy myself a bicycle. So my upbringing, it was quite sad, but I want to thank my mom and dad. They did all they could to make sure that I get the right education. They brought me in a very humble way, to such an extent that I know God. And funny enough, I have never even tasted alcohol in my entire life. My upbringing,
you don't drink?
I don't drink, and I've never tasted alcohol in my entire life. I would actually say, kukura kwangu nini. Whenever I think of how I grew up, it's quite sad because most people think I grew up in a rich family, probably because they see me that would drive a motor, zodura, my watch and odura, stuff like that. The truth is, it is the grace of God. I wish Ndingati had work, but that's a lie. I don't deserve any of the things that I had, but I feel God saw the pain that my parents went through and what I went through, and He decided to reward me for that. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful. Those are the people who are actually struggling. I'm so touched to such an extent that I even try to help other people. Yeah.
And are you humble? Do you consider yourself humble?
Yes. You know what? Most people confuse pride with confidence. And that's a big error. Because people, if they see you dress well, you drive fancy cars, you look good, trust me, you are not humble at all. Jesus Christ, the King of Kings, was asked. Jesus was asked by Pilate, "Are you the King of the Jews?" And he said, "You have said so." My point is to say, people don't actually realize that I'm just a confident fella. Are we together? The Bible says that humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. For so many years, people used to say, "Hey, Mudiwa is not humble, Mudiwa is not humble." But I'll tell you the truth. 6 years down the line, I did not have any of the things that I have now. I wasn't even driving a fancy car. I had nothing. I wasn't even about to attain a doctorate. But the Bible says, humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. Surely, surely, I tell you, it is God's doing where I'm going and where I am right now. 6 years ago, I was not even married to a beautiful lady. Right now, I have a beautiful wife. And I feel that in every area of my life, God is doing wonders. And that entails, I am humble. Because the Bible says, humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. God is lifting me up because I'm humble. But humans' definition differ. You get what I'm trying to say? Other people define humility as maybe you're not supposed to actually clear back. You're just supposed to take it, be a punching bag. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people. Definitely. Yeah. So technically, I say I'm humble.
Okay, so you don't spit at the poor. You don't look down upon those that don't have because you now have.
There's no way I can speak bad about the poor because I was a poor guy. God brought me up. Are we together? And right now, I'll tell you something. Well, I'm not going to tell you the name, but I've got few students. One is GZ, one is NAST, and other high school students that I actually pay school fees for. But nobody knows about it. You know, let me tell you the truth. If you really fear God and you do it, the public don't actually know about it, God will lift you in public. Are we together? There are some battles that I fight in private that God will then reward me in public. I've got few students that I actually pay school fees for. It's used there. Someone is at NAST and other high school students. I don't talk about it. Why? I said to myself, you know what? I need to reward these guys with that opportunity of becoming who they want to be. And I help them. Before I even launched my album in 2017, I went around and fed over 400 families. I did not say 400 people, families. I had to part away with thousands of dollars, but I knew it. The true gospel is helping the needy. Are we together? And that's what I sing. If I say I'm a gospel artist, I always sing about how God good is, and I'm not going to the ground to help people, then I'm useless. True religion is helping the poor, not taking money from the poor. So whenever I see those people who really need it, I come to their rescue and help as much as I can. Are we together? That's what I do. So whenever I see poor people, I see my past and I say to myself, what is it that I can do to help these people to realize their dreams? Yeah.
And is your wealth hard-earned or you got money from church? I'll be specific. There is a belief and a notion that you got money through Prophet Hubert Angel, whose church you were part of or you're part of, and this is where you got all your money. So you are a recipient of handouts. The cars that you drive, you got them from the Prophet, and all the money that you have, it's not music related, it's not work related, it's not education related. You were given freebies, and now you brag with those freebies. This is how true is that?
Thank you for giving me an opportunity to clarify on that. I love Prophet Hubert Angel, but he's never given me any money. We are together here and there, he's there for me. But I'll tell you the truth. Whatever I have, the cars, whatever I have, I worked for it. And by God's grace, I'm here where I am with after working hard. In 2013, Prophet Hubert Angel helped me sell my CDs. And I bought my Mercedes Benz. And I said to the world, technically, that's simply helping me to buy a car. The actual event that happened is that I sold my CDs. I sold over 3,000 CDs at my launch. And you know what Prophet Hubert Angel did? He went on stage and he said, for those who are about to buy Mudiwa CD, I'm going to pray for it. And people bought it. And I said, how can I repay such good work that this man has done? Are we together? So technically, the Mercedes Benz that I bought from the money that was empowered by him. That's why I say that, you know what, this is a myth that the Prophet has given me. He helped me sell my CDs, which was great. But this was 2013, and now we are in 2019. I've got new Benzes, I've got BMWs, I've got all this stuff. This is different stuff. I've worked hard to be where I am. There is no human being alive who can come and say, I have helped Mudiwa with this, I've done this, and that. Nobody else except my wife. That's the only person who has got claim to say, you know what, I've been with my husband to be where I am. Right now, I'll be honest with you, there's no any other human being, be it a pastor or anything, who has sponsored my lifestyle or anything. And funny enough, I last saw Prophet Hubert Angel in 2014 when he left the UK, for the UK. I haven't seen him since. So I don't understand how people, when they say this and that. So I just want people to know and appreciate. But great thing I would say that Prophet Hubert Angel, I respect him. He's my father, he's my mentor, he helps me. But one of the greatest things that man has given me is to believe in myself and realize I'll make it in life. He was more of a written letter of a person who was living the truth and who was working so hard. And I had to emulate and look at him and say to myself, one day I'll be like him. Are we together? So everything that I have right now, that's the reason why I always say this. It is musicians who are very lazy, who think that things can just come. There's no man who just comes and say, hey, you know what, I've given you a car. I've given you this money, you can take this. I don't know which country you guys are living. Let me tell you the truth. In Zimbabwe here, a person to give you a car, to say, this is the car, this is the what, never. I worked hard for where I am. Okay, Tomboti Ndukupi Mari. This watch, newspaper, Mudiwa wears a watch for $5,000 US. It's a weapon that reminds me. This item, this is a watch. It reminds me of where I've been. I'll tell you the truth. I still remember back in the day in the Kimbira Mahuskwa. You get it? Kimbira Mahuskwa. Ndijitu kune Mahuskwa ya Makundi Square. Muri Square. Ndiji imagine the crowd. I'm telling you the truth. I was visualizing who I was going to become. And for me to be where I am right now, it's God's grace and my effort. There is no human being alive who can claim to have brought me where I am. That would be an insult, a huge insult.
I didn't see that one coming.
I'm telling you the truth.
You know?
That's what we've been through. Do you realize what?
Yeah.
I was quoted by this other tabloid in Zimbabwe, and they said, Mudiwa, you're one of the people who gets trolled a lot. I'm not surprised, neither am I moved. Bruh, I've sung to grass that doesn't move. So I don't care. I've been through it. Okay, fine. Is this song right? And I'll tell you the truth. Realize all these things have manifested into huge crowds. Almost 100,000 crowd. Judgment Night, National City Sports Stadium, City Sports Center, and all this. So I walk in positivity. Did you believe one day let me tell you the truth. I am one person who walks in positivity. When people say negative things, I do not take them inside. Yeah. This is what you call psycho-cybernetic force. Whatever you put in your subconscious mind is the same thing that comes out what? If you put anything in your subconscious mind, that's the thing that actually get to manifest in your life. So it's garbage in, garbage out. In me, and told anything negative. What people say, hey, Mudiwa, check out. I don't take that crap. I always believe I'm the best. I always believe God made me the best at whatever I do. And that's everything. That's what I believe of myself.
And do you think success, you're a Christian, you're also an artist, but do you think material things are a measure for success?
Let me be honest with you. First, I'll answer your question after I've said this. I always tell people success does not come from where you come from. The reason why my life transformed is we grew up very, very poor. And I always believed that success is an inside job. I had to motivate myself from within to be a different person. Whenever I see rich people, I said to myself, one day I want to be like that. What is it that they are doing that poor people are not doing that I can do so that I can be like the rich people? Are we together? I'll tell you the truth. Success is not only measured by money. A happy person is a successful person. Why? They are content with what they're actually having in their life. So to measure success with money, it's wrong. But I will tell you something. The world standards, they measure success on monetary terms. Why? Because everybody admires a rich person. Everybody thinks that a good life comes by being rich. Are we together? But success, a happy person, a healthy person, a person who's healthy, is successful. Why? They are content. They might not have $1 billion, but they are healthy and they are happy. Are we together? I will tell you, when we are now talking of music, when we say this musician is successful, we want you to see you driving the latest cars. Why? We expect your music to be bought. We expect your people to buy your music. 1, 2. We expect you to get awards. We expect you to be rewarded and be recognized and rewarded for your effort. So a musician cannot be successful without accolades, money, and sales. It's impossible. As a musician, 200 songs, he has got nothing and he's successful. That's a failure. So that's why I'm saying, when you say, how do you measure success? You have to go down and elucidate further on what exactly you mean. Because if you say, Mudiwa, how do you measure success as a musician? I'll tell you, I look at the musician. What have they achieved? The accolades, the money, the houses, the investment, that's success. We always say one of the most successful musicians in the States is Jay-Z, P. Diddy. But P. Diddy is not the best rapper in the States, but he's successful. Are we together? And then we always say that DMX, we always say that DMX is not a successful rapper. Why? He's broke. So a measure of success to musicians are things, too, Nubaba. Those bling things like houses, cars, and everything. But to an ordinary person, success cannot be measured in terms of money only. That's limiting yourself. Being happy, health, and being content is success. But to a musician, the public figures, people who are in business and everything, success is measured in monetary terms. Yes.
And does your music sell? Are you, okay, I'll ask you 3 parts question. Are you a hip hop artist? Some are saying, oh, look, but he doesn't sing hip hop. And does your music sell? Do you make money from your music, or have you made money from your music? And
with all humility, I would say that, with all humility, I'm a hip hop artist, and with all humility, I would say that I believe I'm the greatest hip hop artist in Zimbabwe for this reason. As far as Christian hip hop is concerned, I championed Christian hip hop. Most people were not listening to any music that talks about Jesus whilst the person is rapping. I did that, and all churches took it and they embraced it. And then I made so much noise with hip hop up until banks started endorsing me. I've sold music. I went my first tour to the UK. I sold over almost 2,000 copies. I'm talking about 2,000 copies. We printed 400 the first day. We sold all 400 first days in different churches when we were traveling. There were AFM churches. I went with Tembalami and the other guys. And shout out to Belinda Magejo, Stephanie Chiangwa. Those guys are the ones who hosted us when we went there. I sold a lot of copies. Are we together? And up to now, my music is on iTunes. Before I started having a job of being a banker, I used to make a living from music only. I used to sell music, and I sell music. Are we together? And for your information, I haven't told you. Today I woke up, I think around 4, my Instagram was verified. I'm now
yes, I noticed you're now verified.
Yes, I'm now verified on my Instagram. And iTunes, Tidal, Spotify, you find my music everywhere. I sell. I'm not in music. You know what? I'm one music who sings about Jesus Christ, but whilst I'm making an impact, I'm also making an income. Because in the Bible, Paul said, those who preach the gospel shall feed from the gospel. I'm one of those artists who actually believe that whenever I go to preach to people, speak about Jesus Christ and tell them that, you know what, Jesus Christ is a blesser. He will bless you. I need to bring evidence to say, you know what, these fancy cars, the convertibles, the Benzes, the stuff that I'm driving, it was his work. And it's then easy. My word is easy. I am one artist, my hip hop artist in Zimbabwe, I respect them. Most of the things that they sing about, the cars they sing about, I have them parked here at my house, outside, at my house. They sing about them to say, you know what, we drive this car, this and that. They don't have them, it's fine. I have them outside my house. You talk about being successful. I am a successful hip hop artist. Yeah.
And you've mentioned accolades. You have a lot of them. I think possibly you are the most awarded Zimbabwean artist in history. When I was checking my records, if not true, somebody can actually help me. You have had more than 50 nominations, and you have won 27 awards in a career that spans just over a decade. Are these awards genuine? Do you buy awards? Or what's going on there? Did you deserve these awards? Did you win them? Or you purchased them?
You know what? Let me tell you something interesting. Do these awards, do they come from one person? No. They came from different boards.
Yeah. What
people don't understand is, if they don't like my music, if they feel that Mudiwa is cocky, is pompous, they then think that, you know what, so no, man, you can't have it all in life. You get what I'm saying? If you ask me about awards, my second question to you is, what awards are you talking about? Are you talking about music awards or academic awards? Because I have quite a few academic awards and music awards. Which awards are you talking about here? You're talking about music awards.
Mainly. Music awards.
Okay. Yeah. I was just pulling your leg. Eh? Music awards. Yeah. Music awards. I have 27 music awards. And of the 27 music awards, I've had over 50 nominations. I did not win all of my nominations, but I've won some, but I always count them as an achievement, all of them. But one interesting fact that you need to understand, Plot, is I get an email to say we have nominated you for this award, because people look at my efforts. Are we together? I'm one artist who has won the most marketable brand in Zimbabwe at the Zim Music Award, Zim Business Awards. In 2017, I was voted to be the business personality of the year at MegaFest Awards. My competitors were CEOs. Are we together? They looked at from musicians to business people, and I had the best personality for a business person. Why? I had made noise with Stuart Bang with the jingles and everything. And they said, you know what? Mudiwa's brand is one of the most marketable brands. Funny enough, Mudiwa is scandal free. Are we together? So his brand is what?
So
it's marketable.
You don't have scandals, right? Or you don't have non-scandals?
Yes, I'm scandal free. Let me tell you the truth. Reputation is best protected than recovered. Reputation is best what? Protected than recovered. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person. I rely on God on directing me the right path to go to. But I'll be honest with you. All my awards are genuine. If we go to the Hip Hop Awards and they say that we want to award the person with hip hop personality, in all of Zimbabwe, when you talk about hip hop personality, my brother, there's no argument. Mudiwa is the hip hop personality. I have the cars. Hip hop is lifestyle. Are we together? If you look for expensive watch, for 4 years, I've been voted the best dressed man in Zimbabwe. Are we together? And this is what we call hip hop. It's lifestyle. And when we talk about lifestyle, we are talking about having the things. Are we together? So you come here and you say, you know what? You cannot get the best hip hop video. I had every time I released a video since 2012, I've been winning the best video. Best video. We talk about slaying. We talk about 10 over 10. We talk about Anacho Tisu. I've been winning the best videos, especially in hip hop. We're now talking about Ndenzi, Abudari Pamota, Jinimbi. This is not. They were arguments. Their arguments were baseless. But the truth is, people hire videos, people hire cars, people hire houses to shoot when they are having their shoots. My video was smart and clean. It was played on MTV Base. My video was played on Slaying. It actually was on Hits by MTV Base, for my hits, my African hits. It was on my hits by African, what you call this, by Trace also, by Trace Africa. But what people, what's surprising is people don't understand something. When people say we are not happy, how did Mudiwa deserve? Let me tell you the truth. This world is evolving. There's nothing wrong. But Jokuti Mpana no feel out agona utanga challenge madara kuti Mayas because the way I imagine the new style anakwevu where we are watching about Mayas. No, Eminem is not a good rapper. We are best because rapper hit. That's wrong. Are we together? That's wrong. You can only attract what you respect. Most of the hip hop artists in Zimbabwe, they want to start with Anatanga first song. Hey, I've got haters. This is your first song. Who is hating on you? Nobody is hating on you, and they feel good. Establish out that Isusu right now. Tane mari.
Well, what's your net worth? How much are you worth? What's your net worth?
Definitely that I can't disclose. I can't disclose. But at least we can start by what you pay net mari. Yeah.
So you say that's a car. You're wearing a car.
Hand. That's a car. Yeah, this is pure gold. This is pure gold. This is pure gold. Pure gold. My point is,
if you were to value it at a car, I mean, against a car, what sort of car would it be? You watch?
You don't red light, Mangwana. What you did for $5,000 US.
$5,000 US. So that's a C200 compressor. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what, Plot? What people don't understand is there is no way a hip hop artist can be said to be humble, because hip hop is an eye game. I'm the best. I'm rich. I have the style. That's hip hop. You get what I say? It's lifestyle. It's an eye game. Whenever you see Munoku hip hop, ango pula ango chila. So it's difficult to say a person is humble. But let me tell you the truth. I always separate my brand, Mudiwa Hood, and Mudiwa Mutandwa. I separate the two. The other person,
Mutandwa is the corporate one.
Yes, is a corporate one. And Mudiwa Hood is the hip hop artist. Are we together? Is the hip hop artist is that, is that a bit, is not so humble. But Mudiwa Mutandwa, so you realize, I always
so whom are we talking to right now? Are we talking to Mudiwa Mutandwa or Mudiwa Hood, so that at least we have the right perspective?
Okay, there's the Father, the Word, and the Holy Spirit, and the three and one. Right now, you are addressing Mudiwa Hood and Mudiwa Mutandwa, and I'm trying to say the real reason. Yes, the real reason why some people mistake my confidence to pride is because there are times whereby somebody asks me who's the best hip hop artist in Zimbabwe. If I am a hip hop artist, I'm in the game to be the best. I have to speak positive about myself. I have to say, I am the best. And then they say he's not humble. Let me tell you the truth. I'm not here in this game to be number 2. Since 2017, I haven't released any album. I haven't released any music. But I'll tell you the truth. I've attended awards whereby I just go there. I collect someone's award. They forget about all the other nominees. They forget about all the other guys who actually got awards. They started talking, Mudiwa took someone's awards. That's influence. Are we together?
But yeah, I wanted to ask that, yeah. When you break Japreza's award...
Herald, Newsday, every press here, that's influence. So I'm not a first.
Maybe, but even if nobody had picked Japreza, like in terms of status, if somebody else had picked Japreza's award, collected it and broke it, I think it was still gonna be news. Do you think so?
I doubt so. I'll tell you why. The reason why I'll say this is because I did not actually break that award. You can break one model. But just because I was standing near the model, so you can know it's Mudiwa who dropped that award. The truth is, but you know what? I did not rush to ignore. Are we together? Yeah. I did not rush to deny that I'm not the one who dropped that award. Why? Because people were talking about me. Okay, talk about me. That's okay. That's cool. Because one thing you should realize, there's no bad publicity. Are we together? If people are saying that I dropped Japreza's award, you know what? I rate Japreza as one of the best musicians in Zimbabwe, if not the best. And now they are talking about Japreza and talking about Mudiwa at the same time. That's okay. That's pretty cool with me.
Okay, cool. Before I switch to my next question, what's the name of your watch?
My watch is called Invicta, Reserve Edition, Limited Edition. Invicta. It's called Invicta. Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Mudiwa, and do you have? Okay, I wanted to mention names, but I will. Do you have any beef with artists? Do you have a beef with Stana? Do you have beef with Takura? Do you get along with these artists, or it's showbiz?
Since it's my interview, I'm quite happy for you to ask those questions. Takura, it's the first time for me to hear anything to do with Takura on being asked about Takura. It's my first time. So I'll leave out Takura because he's doing well. He's a vibrant young man. I love his music. He's doing quite well. And even T-Gons, they're doing quite well. But I wouldn't want to address them, but I would rather address my guy, Stan. Why? Stan has won so many awards. And I rate him as one of the best artists, not just hip-hop artists, but I'm talking about artists in Zimbabwe. And to mention hip-hop and ignore Stana's name, it's being foolish and being, I don't know what word. That's being a coward. That man has worked so hard, and I respect his hustle. Yes, we used to have beef, but we're cool now. I'll be honest with you. It's always difficult to have two generals in one army. The other person would want to say, you know what, I'm the best. And I used to say I'm the best. I'm the only artist who could stand in the studio. He had to go into the studio, compose a song, beefing with me. And if I say we had beef, yes, but we're pretty cool now. We're pretty cool now. We actually have a collaboration, a song in Nonzi Kunamata, whereby we were singing together, stuff like that. But any other artist, I've never had problems with any other artist. Let me tell you the truth. For an artist, for me nowadays, for me to reply an artist who says crap about me, I need to look at the blue badge. If they are not verified, I don't speak anything about them because they are not recognized worldwide. If you are not verified, to me, I cannot say anything to you unless you are verified. Kana is verified. That's why I've answered this question. All the other artists, if they are not verified, I'm not going to answer anything. They are not recognized, period.
But you got verified. You got verified last night. So before then, you were responding to these artists.
Did you say you got verified?
Yes.
Did you say you got verified?
Yes, I know you say you got verified last night.
No, I'm talking about me. You said I got verified last night. Yes, verified. Verified is being verified. Whether you were verified 2 years ago or verified now, Google knows about you. They know that you are actually an artist. They have verified you. Do you know the other person who's verified? Jay-Z is verified. Mudiwa is verified. P. Diddy is verified. The Kardashians are verified. So I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. They are verified.
Pokelo is verified.
Stana is verified. Jables is verified. Winky D is verified.
Okay, so do you think people hate you? Do you think people hate you because of your success, or people just don't vibe to your music? They don't like your music. Some are saying, "No, what music? Which song did you sing?"
When you say people, it's a broad term.
Yeah.
If you say
no,
some
I'm
people,
looking at okay, some people based on the responses to your Instagram as well as your Twitter and your Facebook. I see a lot of trolling. Do you think?
If you go on my Instagram, you realize that people love me. But if you go on other people's Instagram, maybe you might see it otherwise. But I'll tell you something. Mudiwa is one artist who is loved, who is hated by hundreds and loved by millions. So of the 100 that actually hate me, let me tell you the truth. They have what you call spirit of poverty. They are mad that Mudiwa is singing I'm always about positive vibe. I'm always saying that, you know what, when I sing songs like it's not about me, but I'm saying, take the song, own it, and speak positive things about yourself. Are we together? So you have people who say, you know what, how can you say Aita Mariano Zwida? He thinks he's hot, he thinks he's fly, he thinks this, and that. My point is to say, I'm not money that should be loved by everybody else. I accept that there are people who actually don't like me, and that's okay. Even P. Diddy, he has got people who actually don't like him. Even Japreza, one of the best artists in Zimbabwe, he has got people who don't like him, and that's okay. But you can't argue with the results. Are we together? If I was not significant, if I was not relevant, if I was not loved, who has been supporting my music to this time, to where I am right now? Are we together? Who has been approving to say, let's award him if they are not loved? I've won People's Choice Awards. Who has been saying, you know what, we need to endorse this young man? If you have no influence, who has been saying, let's endorse this young man? Banks endorsed me. Companies, big companies have been endorsing me. It simply says that I might not have influence in all areas, but I actually have influence in other areas, which is a great thing and which is a good thing. So I accept there are people who don't like me. That's okay. One thing I know is that they don't affect my bank account. And every time I close the windows of my Mercedes-Benz, or be it the other BMWs and the other cars that I have.
How many cars do you have?
How many cars do you have? Right now, right now I will not say. But I just say several. Several could be the right word. Several.
Okay.
But my point is to say, listen up. Whenever I close the windows, that persecution of people saying, hey, this, I don't hear it. I don't hear it. I am one artist who's not apologetic about God's blessings. Do you know a guy called Peter in the Bible?
Yeah, I know Peter.
He was a disciple of Christ. After he was told to go and fetch money from the mouth of the fish, he came and wrote one book. I'm not somebody who was blessed by God and keep quiet about it. I'm going to shout on how good God is, how good this God is. Most people know the power of God, but they don't know the God of the power. That's why I always say to people, you know the power of God, but you don't know the God of the power. The God of the power can bless a person from Chitungwiza who went to a school called Dzai School, a mission school in Nyazura, with nothing to a somebody. And that's me. So I'm grateful. If people say, he thinks is what, he thinks is this and that, let me tell you the truth. My Father who is up in heaven, who is God, is happy with my progress. And I'm not ashamed to say my source of wealth is Jesus Christ, not any other person. There is no human being alive who claim the glory that I should give God for me to be where I am. The reason why people ask, why Mudiwa's music, Boa said this and that, they don't like my music, why is he getting awards? Let me tell you the truth. It's grace. That's what you call grace. Grace is unmerited favor. Yes.
So
yes.
Your success is by grace. How do you attribute your success to miracles? Do you think there are miracles that played in your success, or it's purely grace and hard work?
Babaga, let me be honest with you. Inini hangu ndoenda ku church Pentecostal, but zveza zvokungonzi miracles njazva. Musazvinyepera plotika. Let's advise these young upcoming musicians to work hard. There are no miracles. You work hard. Mara ifeka ngwereka na yamba menyu. You work hard for it. I always tell people, you know what? God's grace, God's grace. I'll tell you something what God's grace does. God's grace will help your music sell. But the actual recording, the actual shooting the video, you have to do it yourself. So there are no miracles to my music. When I talk about God's grace, I'm simply saying that it touches hearts of people who say, you know what, we need to go and support this man. In 2015, my album was auctioned. And one guy, his name was Luis Mujara, he sponsors the Mighty Warriors. He bought my album for $3,000 US. And Kenimba Iwa bought it for $800 US. Chinimba Gartengo for $300 that time. That's 2015. I sold roughly almost $11,000 US same night. One album, Mambo. Are we together? If money talks, then you don't see my visions because your contracts is poor. My contracts are weird. My contracts are wonder. My soul's down to earth. I'm the equivalent of David and a reckoning, but I'm slinging diamond stones from a gold chain. You really hate our real estate. Spiritually, I'm Bill Gates, your Maria Kareba, Siku Mariro, ATM card, Rondi Bata, Mawoko, Maria Kareba. I call a long story. Nikapinda mo bank vanofara kuti zefunde. Supai vapondine mari zimunya kana home zinunya records zine maumunya. Menta mari, daita mari. You get it? So my point is to say there are no miracles to this house of my brother. I will be honest with you. If you want a car, if you go to my church, my Pentecostal churches, you hear people saying, I receive. You want a car, I receive. Down the line, you see them walking. So there are no miracles to these things. You get it? If you want a car, you have to put in the effort, put in the hard work. Success is when passion meets hard work. Do you realize that God had to create Adam, give him Eve. Then they had to give birth to Cain and Abel. There was no miracle, bro. These people had to meet Adam, had to keep the fruits, do this hard work and everything, this and that. That's why we also talk about Adam. 930 years he survived on this earth. That's why I always tell people, Kanochimba gospel, people shouldn't sympathize with you because we're talking about Jesus. Music yako ngainakidze kana isinganakidze tibhirepo. Are we together? I am selling one of the biggest brands in this world, if not the best. His name is Jesus Christ. That's the reason I come to you and I tell you, I have to be the best good looking. I have to be looking my best. I have to be driving the fancy cars. Because why? I'm an ambassador of heaven. I represent the highest authority on this earth. Inini ndakatadza kudriva mota dzinodhura, mawacha anodhura. Ndinoparidza sei shoko iri kuti Mwari wangu anoropafadza. How will I preach this word to these people? That's why God blessed me, because my ministry is supposed to change most youth, to empower them, to tell them that no, chikwambo hachibhadhari. Hachina zvachinoita chikwambo. Ukafamba na Jesu zvinoita. And kana wafamba na Jesu, you will make it. And I'm a testimony. Grew up from the most humble family, very poor background. Even listen, I worked hard. And right now, I'm having problems. The biggest problem that I have now is which car should I drive to work? And that's a good problem. So it's not about a miracle. It's hard work. You put in hard work to be where you are. Yes.
And now, you know, we are going through some hardships, serious hardships economically, but you are floating. Your life is still stable. A lot of artists have lost income. What is your word to artists? What is your word to young people, be they artists or non-artists, that are struggling right now to make ends meet, and they've got a dream, they've got a talent, they've got a passion, but they feel discouraged?
Let me tell you something, Plot. The biggest error that most artists make is that they believe that if they are talented, they are now entitled to be successful and entitled to be rich and then entitled to be great. Greatness is no entitlement. If you are talented, realize this. Music is 10% talent, 90% other things. Is P. Diddy the best rapper in the States? Is he the best rapper in the States? But he's the richest hip-hop artist. Do you know that P. Diddy is the richest hip-hop artist, followed by Jay-Z? 2019 findings. P. Diddy is the richest artist, followed by Jay-Z. This then comes to prove, Guti, sometimes you have to do and go that extra mile. You realize, Guti, unaona uti mfana anengane talent, but they never go live on Facebook. How would people support your music, know about you? They never approach companies for endorsements. All they are saying is talent will pave way for me. Let me tell you the truth. A man's hard work will overtake another man's talent. I'm not the most talented musician in Zimbabwe. That's the truth. But I'm one of the most intelligent artists. One thing I realized is that I know of many rappers who probably rap better than me. But I'll tell you the truth. When all is put together and we're talking about stage work and delivery, I feel I can deliver the best. Because why? I look like a real hip-hop artist. I have the money, I have the labels, I have the lifestyle. I come on the stage, I sing the right lyrics. And why? That's what I've chosen. That's my market. You know what? This is the niche market I'm going to pursue. So if you are a young artist in Zimbabwe, realize this. If you really want to make money, in Africa, we talk about America, gangsters. What you need to do is to have a good reputation. Approach these companies, speak to these companies and say, you know what? I have influence. I have 200,000 followers on Facebook. What if I push your brand? How much will you give me? Are we together? Because music goes beyond per stage. Ukaenda per stage, ukapia $1,000. Then after that, also I badare rent, I tenge motor, I say. And then that's when you need to sit down in boardrooms. Are we together? Employ a manager who speaks language, your business. Are we together? You know, it's quite surprising. I would ask you, okay, fine. Does a hip-hop artist need a vision board? A vision board. Where are you going? Do you have a business plan? Do you have goals that you're supposed to follow? Are you also checking with Maz where I was last year? Have I improved to be where I am right now? Are we together? So, I believe the last time that you had, I think it was a hip-hop summit, we need those in Zimbabwe. Why? Most artists are only talented, and it's only skill that they have. They only know how to freestyle and rap. My brother.
That's it.
I don't freestyle. I rap. Are we together? And with that rap, I've gotten houses, I've gotten cars, I've done a lot. I've fed families from my rap. Are we together? So it then tells you that it goes beyond just talent. You need to do a research to say, okay, which market am I going to be concentrating on? If you are going to be concentrating on ghetto, let me tell you the truth, all you're going to get is hype. People are just going to say, wakaipa. That's okay. But ucharge wakaipa ere. You need to be so commercial to some extent that you touch also hearts from up north to down south. Are we together? What touch my heart is our. You need to appeal to companies. Is your image right for companies? Are companies also calculating on endorsing you? Are we together? Because Marino yanyoba my endorsement deals. So most musicians need to understand there are things that I get right that they are not getting right. You might feel you rap better than me. You might feel you sing better than me. But I will tell you the truth. For you to catch up with me of where I am right now, they are miles. You know, I'm trying to play humility here. I'll be honest with you. I'm miles away from any group of artists in Zimbabwe. Miles away. Are we together?
So collectively put together all the hip hop artists in Zimbabwe, collectively, if they're put together in terms of net worth, in terms of value, you surpass them, all of them combined. Can you confirm that? Hip hop artists.
That's quite a difficult question because I'll be honest with you, people would take it very personal. But I'll be honest with you. If you look at the net worth of hip hop artists in Zimbabwe, it's quite sad because most of them have got talent. They haven't put in so much effort other than their talent and them being good musicians. Most of them, they've never been to any company to say, please endorse us. We want to do this. So you realize huge monies come from big companies, not from shows. My show $500. I'll give you an example. I've been invited several times, Narambo invited several times, UK, these places, and they'll tell you we'll give you $1,000. I can't be away from Zimbabwe for 2 weeks and be given $1,000. Why? I can make that money here in Zimbabwe in a few days. Are we together? So I'm saying, what people don't actually realize is, if you are talented, there is more to it for you to be counted as a successful artist, as far as monetary concern, in monetary terms. So from my understanding, it's not right for me to say all of them combined, because to be honest with you, I don't really know their hustle. But one thing I can confirm, I don't know what's happening here. Hello? Yeah, I'm back. One thing I can confirm is I'm the most successful hip hop artist ever. That I can confirm. To say I'm richer, I'll tell you the truth, I'll be the headline tomorrow. And it doesn't sound right because in my heart, I'm burning. I want them to prosper. Let me tell you the truth. A candle never lose its light by lighting another. You get what I'm trying to say? Ndakaona Tigonda driver Benz no far. Why? We are at least helping each other. Saka zokuti nindi zitanga kuda uzikombe. Let me tell you the truth. The only person I compare myself with is who I was yesterday. Because I'll tell you the truth, to say I look at other artists probably in my genre to say, let's look at other people, what are they doing? I'll tell you the truth, that will be a low bar to put my ruler on. I can't say in compare my artists. No. That's not it. I compare myself to I compare myself to who I was yesterday. To say, okay, fine. I'm driving a 2014 car. Next year, I want to drive a 2018 car. I want to buy a house in Borodo. I might have a house in Waterfalls. I want to buy another house in Highlands. I want to buy 2 houses. I want to buy properties. I want to buy my parents a house. Whenever an artist is now talking in terms of properties, real estate, now the levels are different. Because you now see yourself as a brand, an entity. You now see yourself as I see myself as money. Are we together? Let me tell you something. I am one artist who is not invited to a wedding, who is not invited to a party. I don't get invited. I get hired. Some people say, hey, Mudiwa, please, I want you to come see this. Some artists want to be seen. I'll tell you the truth. If you want me to come attend your wedding, whatever it is, you pay me appearance. Then I come because people are going to come. Yeah, we want pictures. I've understood what we studied in economics. You know, the scarcity creates demand. Most musicians, some are not doing now everywhere. You didn't go to everywhere. I'll be honest with you. You just got to bump it to me. That's the reason why in the kind of Zimbabwe, can we have a picture? This is not. Why? Scarcity creates demand. If we see every day, we're not going to pay to see you. Are we together? Do you know what's surprising? People say, hey, Mudiwa, I know Zida, this is that. I unfollowed people on Twitter. When I got hashtag, you know, unfollow Mudiwa. Little did they know that by unfollow Mudiwa, they are making me popular. Are we together?
Yeah.
Do you know what I did
people
not
unfollow you? Did people unfollow you?
I did not see because my followers are going and I don't feel impact yet. Followers. My point is to say, Satan panoshandiswa achifunga kuti aruda kuparadza munhu. God will come to the rescue and deliver you. What I want to ask is, why do they hate a gospel musician with so much passion? All I sing is Ndeta Mari Ndina Mari, Jesu Maganaka, Yahweh, and they hate me. Why? Are we together? Let me tell you the truth.
Yeah.
If you never have people who hate on you, or you never have problems in your life, I will remind you, you are walking in the same direction with the devil. If you are not walking in the same direction, you are walking opposite direction with the devil. I will tell you the truth, the devil will do whatever he can to disturb you and insult you. Are we together? Because you are going to fambirana na satanika. Hamukufambirana kamusemu road mese murukwenda direction imwechete. Apana nombotsama. But you know what? The Bible says there is no servant who is greater than the master. Are we together? They crucified my Lord. My Lord is Jesus Christ. They said a lot of crap to my Lord. And there's no servant who's greater than the master. They will always say bad things about me. But the Bible says, humble yourself and the Lord will lift you up. I've been humbling myself for a very long time. Plot, did you know that in my master's graduation, I graduated the best student in the whole university. I'm talking about academic terms. Which
university was that?
But I never speak about it. And yet people say I'm not humble. If you go to my former university, they have a shield. Was the best graduating student for this year. That was 2011 when I graduated with my master's in finance. But I never go around speaking about academics. I'm actually doing my PhD. I keep quiet about it. People come and show me, say, oh, stuff like that. That's okay. You get what I'm saying? Don't but I keep quiet. And for 4 years in Zimbabwe, Mazimo Des Awards, Zimi Papa Awards, the best dressed men in Zimbabwe. You get what I'm saying? Let me tell you the truth.
I get it.
God is not foolish, and God is not a fool. I'm not something to comfort them and show them that I am with you. When God is with you, against you are nabas. My greatest motivation, my brother, is when people talk about me. Because when you're at the top, you become the topic.
Somebody says there, and people don't hate you, but pride in Zungu, those wakawanda. Do you get offended by such comments? Do you get moved? Do you get often such kind of comments?
You know what? Kana pride in Zungu zichiunza mari mumba mako ka. Usazichinje. Don't change izvozvo. Because wakabvunza mupani anyora zvakadaro izvozvo. Mubvunzo kuti ane mari pari papa. Anodriva mota yakaita sei. Saka chiri kuleka pari ka pride nedzungu. Wanzwita? What is lacking on that young man is pride nedzungu. He needs that pride in Zungu so that he can make it in life. So my point is to say I don't get offended by those things. Let me tell you the truth. It's very difficult to see a person who's successful and claim them as humble. It's quite difficult. Because when they speak, you just think they are being pompous, they are being cocky and stuff like that. So it's always difficult. This is what I always say. Most people mistake pride with my confidence. I'm just a confident person who knows who he is. If the Bible says the one who is in me is greater than the one who is in the world, let me tell you the truth. That simply means if Jesus Christ within me is greater than the one who is in the world, I should be driving the latest cars. Are we together? Because let me tell you the truth. I feel good in it. I worship God. I fast a lot. I should be having these cars, not those people. Are we together? So, kana munhu iye ataura hanzi pride nedzungu ndo zvinokunetsa izvo zviri zviri kununzira mari iye ngaazvinzvere uri kunzwisa let him anofanira kuzvikwenenzvera iye azvinzwisise. Are we together? Kana azvinzwisisa iye onzwisisa kuti okay fine ini ndiri kutambura handina mari zveso asi ndiri kuita basa rekutuka. Let me tell you something. You can only attract what you respect. Are we together? If I see people who are rich, I don't go around trolling them and saying crap about them. Are we together? I go to them
Just
and ask,
hang in one
how
second.
did you do it? Okay. I go to them and ask them, how did you do it? Yes. I was saying, if I see rich people, and rubbish, I go to them, what is your secret? How did you become rich? Then they tell me, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. That's why you took up my Facebook or Instagram, Twitter. It's okay, that's fine. If you then ask that young man, academically, which level are you? I asked with a PhD in Panaye. He was not the best student in class. My awards go music, he does not have even one award. Most of our concept of two. And I'll tell you, if you go even on my Instagram, I follow only 10 people, but I think I have about almost 60,000 followers. Are we together? None of my followers come out need to or anything. Right now, I'll tell you the truth, my brother. I call it block and delete. If a person does not like you, why do you keep them in your life? If people are not for you, why do you keep them in your life? You know, the biggest problem with Zimbabweans is that we are now directing and misdirecting our frustrations on the artists that we are supposed to be celebrating. Ja Preza, I will tell you the truth. Ja Preza with all the talent, even Wingy D, can I excuse Paga with now? Yeah, was he a free man, all stuff like that. And the XQ is such a good artist, but no matter Rambo and it. But my brother, there's no way you can please everybody. One thing I'll tell you, results will never lie. Are we together? Be successful. It will be no evidence. You know, we are hard work. You're going to say you're a quiz because you cannot argue with the results. You can't argue with the results whatsoever. Huh?
Yeah, it's quite interesting because I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
Do you know if you walk into banks in Zimbabwe, you see my face in some banks. You see my face in banks. That means that even corporate companies recognize your influence. And yet, if we remain live right now for probably a few minutes, he's going to leave because data has been finished. But he's not appreciating the hard work that I'm putting in my effort to ask Mudiwa, how did you do it? But he's using himself in me. And that's okay. I'll take that.
Yeah. Cool. I just checked your Instagram just now, and I'm realizing you've got 60,000 people that are following you, and you only have got 10 people that are following. And on the top of that, you've got Stana, you've got Angeli Baby, and you've got Remo Jackson, Mary, Hubert, Prophet Hubert Angel, Mr. Putit XP, Ja Praiser, Lens Mamodiani, and Ginimbi, and Zodwa. These are the only people that you follow. I found it quite interesting. What's in common about all these people? What do you find interesting that you'd say, look, I'm not going to follow the 60,000 that follow me, but I'm going to follow these 10?
I'll tell you something. It's easy to lead. It's easy to be led, but it's very difficult to lead. The reason why I follow these people, I'll tell you one by one why I follow them. Lance Mambandiani is a doctor. He's one of the most celebrated CEOs in Zimbabwe. I admire him. Yeah. I want to be like him one day. Ginimbi, I admire his hustle. That young man, I'll tell you the truth. Paunomonachi got 30,000 and got 1 million. And people are talking about, I love his hustle. That man is a is a hard worker. What people don't actually know about Jinimbi has got even marori, over 40 lorries to Nomitra business. And people don't actually know. They just think with Jinimbi, Mariagino Enemeji. There's nothing like that. Stana, I respect the brother man. We might have our differences, but I respect the brother man. The brother man has put so much work in this industry to be recognized, to be actually respected in the hip hop circles in Zimbabwe. If Stana is to die right now, I'll tell you the truth, we'll give him a Lifetime Achievement Award for pushing hip hop. Stana, at one point, he had a song that was played by every radio station, and he got a hit. Stana at one time, akambobata industry SM Zimbabwe. Whether sungura kana uti ipi vakatanga kuimba timu wombena na godo. For that, no matter how much we have beef, I do not forget the hard work the man has put to be where he is. Are we together? Yeah. That simply means there are things that he's getting right. And besides the fact that we get along, we are friends. Are we together? That's the reason why I follow him. And he is verified. So if he is recognized by the world as an artist, who am I to deny him that recognition? Are we together? To XQ is my favorite rapper. He might not be recognized to hip hop as a rapper, but to me, he's my favorite rapper. I love XQ so much. That's why I follow him. Are we together? And the XQ Asimun and Donuts and Nevani is not about beef and stuff like that. He's always about positive vibe. Ja Preza, to me, is the best musician in Zimbabwe. Of course, also Winky D is the best. But I follow Ja Preza because I love his vibe. Are we together? Then we talk about Zodwa. She's one woman who has worked so hard. Are we together? And I say to my wife, you know what? I follow this lady. I want you to look at her. She has worked so hard. She's quite rich. She's doing this and that. She's someone you need to emulate. And I follow my wife. Are we together? And those are the people I follow. And I follow Prophet Iberenjo because he's my spiritual mentor. Yes, I go to his church and he's my spiritual mentor. And that man, and I've seen all the things that he used to say. Prophet Iberenjo used to say that if you just go home and pray that God gives you money and you don't look for a job, you don't educate yourself, you die poor but holy. And I said to myself, I don't want to die poor. I don't want to die poor but holy. Very kovan, very holy. Because they just believe God can give them. But I'll tell you the truth. The principles of this world in which God respects them is hard work. You have to put in effort. So the reason why I follow the few people I follow is because whenever I look at my timeline, there's no negative energy. They are always about positive stuff. Are we together? Because remember I said psycho-cybernetic force. The psycho-cybernetic force is your subconscious mind. What you take in your subconscious mind is exactly what we produced. Are we together? So garbage in, garbage out. Iwo ukati basa rokuti unofollowa vanhu 100,000 vese vari kungochema vanenge vachingotuka vachingoti nyika yakaoma everything. I'll tell you the truth. Your whole world will all be about negative stuff. Are we together? And I'll tell you the truth. Auna kana mufaro fare why? Unogara uchita say that's why you see vanhu sana Kanya havana kana munhu vanofollowa 0 urunzisa. Why? I want people who inspire me to be a better person. Most celebrities, they don't follow a lot of people. Why? Because they are looking for inspiration. All stuff like that. Let me tell you the truth. I'll always be down and low. And I don't want that. I want to be happy. I want to look at my timeline with, oh, this person has said good things. This is and that. That's why I follow people, because I only draw positive energy. If I go to my wife's wall, she always try to motivate people, talk about business, all the stuff like that. That's why I follow her. If it was not for that, I was going to follow her because she's a wife. She's my wife. But good thing, in addition, she's always positive. She speaks about positive things. And I do believe she has helped me. If you realize, I've gone low-key on being loud. My wife told me that, you know what, concentrate on, she always calls me young man. Of course, she's way younger than me, but she always calls me young man. She says, young man, I want you to concentrate on being successful. So forget about I want this and this and that. So she inspires me.
Mind your work also. I don't know if you know that line. You listen to Zim Dancer?
Yeah.
So Jalab, do you listen to Zim Dancer?
Yeah, I listen to Zim dance. It's not like I really go buy CDs and listen to them, but I come across with them because I do not resonate with some of the lyrics. But I'll give you an example. Pane album Remfesa nonzi Kila T nonzi Ngoma Ndaimba Rere. I personally went and bought that CD. Mpana wewe yakatanga kuprofita mpana ya. Anzi andingapedze album rese ndichichema dakumbofarawo kani. Urikunzwisa? Anzi anzi uchazoyeuka chikorobo. Anzi ukarasa mvura uchazoyeuka chikorobo warasa mvura. You know what? Those are the teachings I want to listen to. Ngoma Ndaimba is the greatest dancehall album ever. Why? It would touch hearts. It would motivate people. It would inspire people. Are we together? And that's the best album that I think could dance on do album really kwero. Nsaka uchizona energy wingi diaka stanga kuimba disappear stuff like that. All motivational songs I listen to. So it says really negative, so, I don't touch that, brother.
So you don't listen to Lula Lula Windsor or Sombonyo or which other songs? Magate.
I'll be very honest. I don't listen to those songs, but they're doing very well, and they have nothing to do with me, those songs. I'm all about positive music, and I try by all means to sing music in Ongo Move. But I'll tell you the truth. As far as talent is concerned, they are on point. They are doing very well. I'm happy for them. But my advice is, whenever you are a musician, if you are a musician, try to monetize your efforts. If you sing, try to go as commercial as you can. Because at the end of the day, you want to go home and sleep on a comfortable bed, feed your family. Are we together? So music, I'll be honest with you, I don't listen to it. I need, but music, not everybody listen to my music, and I accept that. That's okay. But I listen to Japreza, I listen to Winky D, and Enzo Aisha, I respect him. He's very good. That man is very talented. Even Windsor is talented. My advice to them is they need to commercialize their music and push as much as they can to be more positive, encourage people, and maybe leave an impact. You know what? I always want to tell artists, whilst you are making an income, make an impact. Are we together? Do you know, Guti, if you go to churches and ask, Guti, what do you think about Mudiwa's music? I'll tell you the truth. All the churches, all the gospel fans, they'll tell you that we love his music. I try to encourage.
So this is your market. This is your niche.
This is my market. This is my market. Chakazongoitika ndichokutika ndakazonyatsopenga stereki to such an extent yekuti vanhu vakangonakirwa nestera rangu bhabha warikanda mainstream vakati hama blazvika totomukombera netimu riripo iroro, but inini I sing gospel. Zvakafanana nekuti ivo vanenge vachiti mayazi ndiyandakapenga maendere naJapreza. You know, they are different people. Are we together? Inini I'll tell you the truth. Maendere panoimba The Cross, Sebastian oimba Salvation, inini ndikuimba empowerment for a Christian who has feared God, because God said, call upon me in the days of trouble, I will deliver you. Psalms 50 verse 15 says, call upon me in the days of trouble, I will deliver you and you glorify me. Do gospel rangu inini. God blesses and you bless.
But you've got songs like Kasista, you've got Slaying, you've got, songs that are not gospel. Are you straying, or it's part of ministry?
All my music is gospel music. I will explain. Kasista ka heavy, ukaitera inonzi ndiri kutsvaka kasista ka heavy, kanerudo, kasina majeti, kachibato muchechi. I realized that in the gospel genre, we don't have love songs that are clean. Most love songs are sex and all other stuff. Why can I not sing a clean song about a church boy who's looking for a church girl? That's why I sing that song. And I'll tell you the truth, I sing that song. Slaying is about a youthful young man who's very ambitious. He wants to dress nice. And he's saying, I'm slaying while praying. That's my gospel. I'll tell you the truth. Gospel means the good news of Christ. And music yangu yese ansana maimba song is the gospel. All my music are good news of Christ. I sing about how God blesses his people. Kana una Jesu unotoshaina kana music inotapira. Zvosera neizvo zvamajaira zvokuti mate munosvipira. Haisi mose mamukabhazi vana vanochena zvokunyangira bvunzai nini mwana waJesu varidzi veGucci votishanyira. Mumwe unoona kuti amazi uri kuzvida uri kuvhaira, but at the end of the day ndiri kuti inini ka you don't get it. Ndiri mwana waJesu, I deserve the best and I'm getting the best. Do you know kuti the greatest endorsement I got from Christ is to empower my ministry. Shoko randoparidza baba vangu ka rinofambika. Mari yandanayo izvo, so ndakaburuka ndakanopadza munhu ndakamuudza kuti shamwari Jesu anoblessa. They will not doubt me. They will not doubt me. They will not doubt me. Ndakasvika paari ndobva ndaisa fingerprint padore mota yangu yobva yavhara. Ndoenda pasiti rangu yoweya kuti no, is it the right weight? Are you Mudiwa? If you have weight iriyo haimuki. Ndoedza muzamezi no, kana une nharo yogara pamota pangu apa, kana wagara pamota pangu iwo imutse iwo ndisimo ndiripo maki aya. Kurunzisa ndakamuudza kuti gospel iri randoparidza shamwari rine minana mukati maro. Are we together? Saka mwari wangu inini ka anonzi Jesu Kristu, he has been empowering my ministry. Where I come short, and put it into the perfect, but where I'm coming short, God is really covering up for me. And he's blessing me and he's saying, young man, go forth, preach the gospel. This is what I want you to do. And that's what I'm doing. Saka vanhu vakazoya vakatanga undita uimbe gospel song ye love. Let me tell you the truth. Aungati uri mukristu iwo unoda kurarama mupositivity. Wotanga kuridza music kutaura zvesex and everything. And yet we are saying kuti abstinence before marriage. Are we together? Saka ndakaimba masongs are clean. Ekuti unoplay awo pamberi pavabereki, pamberi pemunhu wese. Are we together? That's what I do.
And you just touched, before we wrap up, you just touched on the issue of sex. What's your word on deviant sexual behavior amongst the youth, and also in light of HIV, and also the issues of drug abuse? You don't drink alcohol, you don't smoke, and you said you have never tested alcohol. But what is your word? A lot of young people are losing their lives to drugs, and because of the hardships and other things, also personal choices, but also HIV, you know, what's your word to your father?
You know what? Whatever you do now will determine who you'll be in the next 5 years. Most youth are going to venture into drugs. Sometimes they are stressed, but there's no justification to destroying your life. Because at the end of the day, by the time that your life will recover, you probably would have been wasted. As far as HIV is concerned, this is what I have to say. Personally, I have relatives who I lost through HIV. Some of them were innocently affected, and they actually were affected whilst they didn't know. And it always touches me, and I'm actually hurt every time I talk about it. But what I can say is, if you are to avoid it, please avoid it. But if you have it, don't go and infecting yourself more. HIV is not a death sentence. You can protect yourself, and even there are a lot of people who are actually surviving with it. And to the youth, I would rather advise them not to engage in sexual activities before they get married. Let them leave that surprise for the person they meet when they get married. It's not really practical, I'll be honest with you. It's not easy. It's not really practical. But at the end of the day, if you want to be great, you need those sacrifices. Are we together? You need those sacrifices. Because at the end of the day, my greatest advice to artists is, if you decide to be a musician, be an educated one. If you decide to be a sports person, be an educated one. Kana ufunga wimba dancer yo. Akuna ubva wakanda mabhuku paside. Nyaya haisi yekungoita best student in class, no. Nyaya ndeyekungoita go pass through education kuti understand, kuti uzoziva kuti kana wakaita mari you need to invest into some things. Saka that's the way that I probably would give to my youth, kuti wangoziva kuti Let's say you've been affected. It's not a death sentence. Push on. Live a clean life. Don't abuse yourself. Don't get yourself into drugs. Abuse yourself. Let me be honest with you. Most of them, they watch so many movies. Movies, drugs, cocaine, stuff like that. Let me tell you the truth. How many people, drugs, everything, are successful? That's where I come in as a musician. I've never tested alcohol. I don't smoke. I don't take drugs. And I'm quite successful as a musician. Are we together? If you look at most people who abuse drugs, they can't be role models because nothing is coming out of them. That's why I say sometimes you need to focus on people who have made it in life and look at their behaviors and characters and see were they abusing drugs to be where they are. I'll talk about Oliver Mudiwa. He never used to abuse drugs. He's an icon. Look at Strive Masiwa, a business person, married to one wife, happily married, the richest man in Zimbabwe. So I try to look at him and I say, you know what, one day I want to be like this man. Does he smoke? Does he drink? No. But if I meet people who drink, that's okay. It's them. I'm just saying with myself, I don't. And if I'm given a platform to advise the youth, I'll tell them that do not do this. Do not drink. Do not smoke. Sometimes it's better because most of them, they live on donor fund. Anopiwa mari nembereki, anopiwa mari nevakoma. Aungatore mari iyoyo wapiwa nemukoma onotenga madrugs. Rather, invest into education. In education, invest in other things so that at least you empower yourself to be a better artist. Kana uri musician ukaona 500 US otora unomwa doro. Why don't you go and deposit a stand? Why don't you go and deposit a house? Why don't you buy shares? Why don't you buy? Why don't you get into cryptocurrency? Why don't you start a chicken project? Why don't you do this? Because at the end of the day, music will not sustain you for your entire life. Because our rambe will pressure. Right now, kudanzo kwana Enzo, kuna Just Signal, kwembo wana Winky, kwembo wana Jalav, it's evolving. So what to be clever and to be wise is to invest. Mario, don't take some drugs. Why don't you invest? And what about you, investor? You always be talked about because you always be relevant because you are successful. And you also go to know Coach Awaman because you are successful. You are somebody people want to look up to. Are we together? Yeah.
And do you mentor any of the young people, possibly artists that are not maybe necessarily gospel artists? Do you provide any mentorship or any training to young people, even those that are not artists? Are you doing anything to light their candles as well?
Yes, I have few artists that I help. Some of them I actually pay their studio time, help them as much as I can. Most of them are Zikana, but there are few Anotoya Kwandiri. I'll give you an example, like Munagata Enzo, he respects me a lot. And advice, what is best? So you realize Muna Ninganichi and a brain. I'll give you an example. It's quite funny. Do you know Japreza calls me and asks me, Dad, what do you think I should do? Japreza, which is a good thing, what other artists do. And I'm saying it live on video because it's not a lie and Japreza is a big name. He calls me, Dad, what do you think? This is talking about investment. So at the end of the day, I might not have someone I'm directly mentoring as far as getting into the studio, coaching them how to rap and everything stuff like that. Because I'll be honest with you, time is money. I don't have time to go into the studio to teach someone. But all I can do is I part away with my money and investing in them and actually paying for their studio and stuff like that. That's what I do.
Okay. So I'll just recap. You come from a very humble beginning. You grew up in Shtunguza. You come from a very poor family. You never went to a Group A school in Cots. You went to Nyazura.
I never went to a Group A school, Group B school, or Group C school. I went to a mission school. Seninyoka. Kwekuti maskati taidya sadza beans. Maneri utodya sempo beans. Mangwana acho zvaivo nani. It was better at least taidya rice beans. Kana chakachaya chaizo tinzi mayazi today is good. Taiswa 2 plates of rice beans dzakati one day. That was our meal. I went to a Seventh-day Adventist school in Nyazura. My point is to say, my wife right now, she doesn't understand why I don't like beans. Baby, I don't like beans. But she asked me why. Shamari, ndaidya beans Monday to Sunday. Maskati ni manero. And yet, why is he talking about his hustle? Where is my brother? I've seen it all. I've been there. There are times whereby I would go hungry overnight. Pasina chekudya kumba. Kuchitungwizo. Pasina na chekutomboja. But right now, I thank God. I made a vow to say my mother will never see poverty as long as I'm alive, because that woman, she did all she could for me to be where I am. Because atakarerwa na mai vainotengesa zvinhu South Africa vave vachita musika vachita chichichi ndo ana mai vakatichengeta. And I actually did a song for her inonzi amai vakandirera. I did a song for my mom in my next album for 2019. Saka,
when is the album
that's
coming?
Why I'm saying nenjiziva haso rangu inini kuti ndakabva kure. That's why I then celebrate. The Bible says, Revelations 22 verse 11 and 12, it says, Revelations 12 verse 22 and 21 and 22, I think, it says, they overcame the devil by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Babaga, kufara kunoita denga kana wataura kuti Jesu ndiye akandibatsira, Jesu ndiye akandirapa, Jesu ndiye akandiponesa, denga rinofara. So whenever I say, you know what, for me to be where I am is Jesus Christ, heaven is happy. That's why they keep on blessing me. I never, andibozurwa dundundu inini kuti inini I'm clever, I'm intelligent, I'm the most blessed artist in Zimbabwe. No. It is by grace of God for me to be where I am. And I'm thankful. I'm grateful because I would not be here. Yeah.
Great. So yeah, I'll just recap for the benefit of those that just joined at the middle or at the end of the program. So just to start with, you said you grew up in Chitungiza. You don't come from a rich family. You worked your way through, and your wealth came from the influence that you built from your music and your education, and now you are one of the most successful Zimbabwean artists, and you have managed to acquire properties and materials that are coming from your work and your hustle. You did not get money from your pastor, but he supported your hustle. And that you don't have beef with any artist. It's actually people that are beefing on you simply because of your success and your progress. And that you have a PhD, right?
No.
A
master's.
A master's.
I have a master's.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a master's. You're studying for a PhD. And yeah, I think that sums it all. And I might have missed one or two, but I think they can actually catch the recap at the beginning of the program after we've ended this live. I don't know if there's anything that you feel you have left out that is burning, that you feel, or maybe I should have asked you about this, but I think I've pretty much exhausted most of the things. Is there anything?
I'll have this to say. Life is an individual journey. It's a personal journey. Sometimes we make friends along the way. Some of these friends, they ruin our lives and probably they change our destinies. Maybe we were destined to be rich, but just because they fail to believe in us, they always tell us we are failures. If I listened to my teacher who told me that I'll never amount to anything, I'll not be here where I am right now. If I take to heart all the comments that people write on Facebook since 2012 to say, Mudiwa, you're not a good musician, I will not have 27 music awards. If I listened to people who tell me that, Mudiwa, your work, your music is boring, I would not have toured the countries that I've toured in my music. If I listen to the people who hate on me, I will not be driving the cars that I drive. If I listen to the people who hate on me, I will not be having the wife that I have, such a wonderful wife in my life, who is such an inspiration, who motivates me so much, who's always there by my side. I'll advise a lot of people who are actually watching this live. Let me tell you the truth. Never let anyone define you. You have to define yourself. Success does not come from where you come from. Success does not come from friends. Success does not come from comments. If success would come from comments, then most of Zimbabwean musicians you like would be successful. Success is an inside job. It's an inside job. Never confuse movement with progress. Most of you, when you hear me, when I say this stuff, you're going to change your life for 2 days and you go back to believing you're not the best. Let me remind you, you are the best. You are the best. Always believe in yourself. I believed in myself and I am here where I am and I'm still going forward because I believed in myself. My life is in order, not because I'm clever. I give it all the glory to God and I thank Him. And I say to you, wherever you are and you are watching me, and I'm talking about you, you who is watching me, never let anyone define you. You are better than that. It could be your friends. You told them about your business project. You told them that you want to start music and they tell you, haha, you can't sing. Ignore them and pursue what you want to do. Believe it. Let me tell you the truth. The most successful person did not give up on the first try. Neither did they give up on the 30th try. Neither did they give up on the 5th try or 100th try. They did not actually give up. Let me tell you the truth. You need to have what you call shark mentality. If a shark stops swimming, it will die. If a shark goes backwards, it will die. A shark, all its life, it's always swimming. Never give up. Go on. Go on. If you fail it the first time, go on. Go back into the studio and produce another song. The shark mentality. If a shark stops swimming, it will die. If it goes backwards, it will die. All its life, entire life, the shark in a jet, it will be swimming all its entire life. So I need you to adopt the shark mentality. Always be on your toes, moving forward in everything that you do. That's the spirit I use. I motivate myself and I always tell myself I'm the best ever. That's why I'm not affected by what people say on social media or anything. Right now, I'm verified, recognized. Even if I write to Kanye to say, hey, my guy, what's up? You reply, yo, because what? Category, I'm always to say, never give up. You get there. You will get there. Inina will tell you the truth plot. Ndaitambisa matai unazia, matai. And my dream was to buy my own bicycle because that was my dream. But right now, I'll tell you the truth. And one why? I'm content with the little that I have. And I thank God He's still blessing me and I'm still going forward. Right now, no, my brother, I just bought a house in Borodo that has got a 2-story album and I'm better than you. Yes. Because you have got 5 followers who are saying you are good. My brother, life is real. It goes beyond Facebook and social media. Are we together? So yeah,
powerful.
That's what I always have to say.
Thank you so much, man. It was such a great honor speaking to you. I must say, I also learned quite a lot there. And after this, I will definitely sit down to I will watch this program again to just take some of the keynotes and the points that you've dropped there. And I hope you've managed a lot of people have managed to understand certain things about you, whether they're going to like you or they continue hating on you, whichever the way. This is showbiz. It's real, like you've said. life continues. And I really appreciate your time. And thank you so much to you and your wife for just,
Baby,
giving
thank
us
you.
2 hours. It will be nice to see. And
yes, yeah, she said you're welcome. Probably before I leave here, I'll just say this. Never let anyone define you. And the Bible says, Psalms 50 verse 15, call upon me in the days of trouble, I'll deliver you and you shall glorify me. Plot 1 Corinthians 1 verse 31 says, he who glories, let him glory in the Lord. That's why I sing my music. People will say, the Bible says, he who glories, let him glory in the Lord. I'll be speaking Jesus Christ. And because it's my source. Before I go, do you remember Dongira kapinda na Jesu Jerusalem? Do you remember? People used to put those nets, Mazambia, Pamsorope Dongiro, Paspe Dongiro, Kutirite say, Ritsike. Do you remember? Right? What it was in. But Dongi Parakashika ku Jerusalem, Jespaka Buruka. They never mentioned anything to do with that donkey in the Bible. Why? Basarangara Pet. Inini Jesar Pamsoropang. The moment I stop singing Jesus Christ, no one is going to put any cloth underneath so that I can walk. Apana red carpet and do because kana Jesango Burga Pamsoropang. That's why I always sing about Jesus Christ. I'm just a donkey, and he's on top of me, and we are heading to Jerusalem. All these red carpets awards that you are seeing, it is because they are celebrating the effort, they are celebrating the gift that God put in me, and I give glory to what? Anzi ndazvimba zvibhakera. Anzi ndazvimba maoko nekubigwa, but mbiri ndichipa Jesu. Ndazvimba maoko nekuita sei nekubigwa, mbiri ndichipa Jesu. Kana vakakuvenga haina pressure. Vachazozvitova vaita cash. So thanks, man.
Nice one. Can you just thanks a lot. If you can leave us with 30 seconds, and then I drop you out. 30 seconds of a freestyle. Yeah.
I'll just say this. Kana register ku blessa sambo gaya cha stress kwa toroka sofi click button no pressa posto pa Insta Facebook kana Twitter remegoda ready prayer noto metwa nema picture se gorere to be the one, be the teacher, take all the strangers every watch to feature wakana life atsukirira vachamutsvaga ku bleacher ndiye Jesu don't be shy usanyangire sema ninja, don't be in it for the likes and the Facebook status, live a life very free singa fetu nema traders munhu wenyama ungamugone what they say don't matter konzeresa sambo gaya zvema haters repa woku chechi ndakuridzwa mumapawa ansikudzora yangu chimbosvika masvingo aya awa ndakonzeresa ndakunzwika mumashawa but ansikuba pamusoro kunge heti yemachawa. It's your boy, you know how we do. Thank you, my boy.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
Peace. Thank you so much. That was Mudiwa Hood. It was a very long interview. For the past 2 hours, we've been talking to Mudiwa. He has been dropping bars after bars. I didn't get a chance at some point to intervene, but I think he was flowing. And I hope we all learned something or benefited something and enjoyed the conversation one way or the other. And thank you so much. I really appreciate. And like I said before, I appreciate all of you and thank you so much.
Put your lighters, put your lighters, put your lighters up in the air. Put your lighters, put your lighters, put your lighters up in the air. Call on Jah in this time. Call on Jah in this time of prayer. Exabia, Yeremias again was done from Gotafara, representative of the Earground Radio Station. Blessed love.